Hey folks, I'm Rupali, your host, and welcome back to Crime Hack. While investigating who beat up their friend Akash and took his bike, a major detective brothers Raj and Sandy have gotten beaten up themselves. Also, the initial main suspect Priya vanishes as well when she decides to help the boys investigate. The boys realize that the attackers know who they are, but the boys don't know who the attackers are. So they decide to learn makeup techniques from a pro. The meeting with the theatre actor is hilarious to the core, and yet the boys learn a lot from him. And now, Naik Brothers and the Mystery of the Catacombish Tunnels by Rupali Rajapadhe Roti, Part 31. The next morning brought a big surprise for the boys when they saw Priya coming their way. Oh, thank God you're okay. The boys smiled their relief as they trotted up to her. Are you alright? Priya simply nodded in response and flashed a troubled smile. Tell us what happened. Raj was eager to know. But instead of replying, Priya asked distressed, how many people know I was, abducted? And the boys were jolted out of their excitement. They now realized the impact of the abduction and the repercussions if the news leaked out. Oh, Deepak, Sandy replied uneasily. Your neighbors? Her facial muscles immediately tensed and everyone went silent. After a long, awkward moment, Sandy came close and put a hand on her shoulder. You're a brave girl, Priya. I know you can handle. There'll be stories. She looked distraught as she spoke, and suddenly her face contorted. There will always be stories. Raj's sudden, energetic retort made the other two jump with surprise. Come on, Priya, Raj continued. People love to talk, make stories, even based on pure imagination sometimes. You can't stop them. Act as if something serious has happened and you confirm those stories. Make your life a nightmare in the process. Act as if nothing has happened and you negate those stories. Get on with your life normally. It's completely up to you. Priya pondered for a long while and then slowly a smile appeared on her face. Now that's my girl, Sandy cheered jubilantly. Priya gave a spurt of laughter and questioned, your girl? Yeah, whatever. Sandy discarded the topic immediately and asked, now don't kill us with suspense. Tell us what happened. This relaxed the mood substantially and Priya replied, well, someone jumped me with a hood over my face, abducted me, and the next day, sometime in the afternoon, I was released. Just like that? Raj asked bewildered while Sandy exploded. Next day? The very next day? Why, what's so special about the next day? Priya asked. Sandy didn't want to reveal that it was his turn to get abducted the next day. I tried calling you multiple times and you didn't pick up. So you came looking for me, I heard. She smiled gratefully. But they had taken my mobile and I had lost your number, so I couldn't inform you earlier. That's okay. I didn't have my mobile either anymore. Sandy blurted out involuntarily and then bit his tongue. Why so? Lost mine too, he replied abruptly. How? Priya wanted to know. Sandy evaded the question. Long story. But tell me, could you see your abductors? Nah, the hood stayed on all the time. Did they speak? Asked Raj. Nope. Do you know where you were kept? No idea whatsoever. I was carried in a van, I guess, and was later left near my house with loose bonds that I could easily get out of. Near your house? And nobody saw them? I mean, people in your locality do roam around a lot, don't they? Sandy had a valid doubt. See, there is an old mansion which has been unkempt for many years now. We call it the haunted mansion. Nobody goes near there. I was left on the grounds of that property. Oh, Sandy became pensive. How long was the drive in the van? Raj wanted to know. Around half an hour? She wasn't sure. But when I was to be released, I was drugged and I had gone off to sleep. I woke up lying in the outgrowth with loose bonds around my wrists and ankles. Sandy shook his head as if reaching a conclusion. A half-hour ride through the Pune city could take one to almost any nook or corner. Were you given any food or water? Raj asked. I was fed all right, but the bonds and hood stayed all the time. What were you fed? It could prove useful to profile the abductors. Oh, the Indian fast food, vada pav. This drew a blank again. Vada pav was available everywhere in Pune. Every street, every road, every by-lane had a joint that served it. Now the boys were more lost than ever. The abductors hadn't spoken so as to give any clue. The haunted mansion did ring a bell, but Priya was driven for half an hour, so that couldn't be where she was kept. And the most baffling part was her release. Why was she released? Sandy kept on thinking. Soon they parted. Priya went for her lecture while Raj started for his when Sandy pulled him aside. Did you realize that she was released soon after I was taken in? What? Raj was confused at first, but slowly the realization struck him squarely in the face and he stared back wide-eyed with shock. This didn't call for such a shocked reaction. Sandy was baffled with his brother's expression. This means they never came back to check on you. Otherwise, there could have been another attack on Priya or us. Now it was Sandy's turn to go fight in the face. He gulped. If he hadn't been able to get out of his bonds the other day, he would probably still be there, without food or water, bound and gagged. His throat suddenly went dry at the very thought of it, and he could feel a pang in his stomach. Rubbing his tummy miserably, he said, I feel hungry already. And Raj nodded anxiously in response. There were still 5 minutes to go before the lecture started, and the brothers decided to go grab a quick bite at the canteen. Reaching there while Sandy gulped down a glass of water thirstily, Raj went to order, but he wasn't quick enough to bring it. What took you so long? Sandy complained. He wanted to sit and have a snack, but now there was no time. Our canteen guy's nephew who has come down to help around, Raj explained. He held me up. He had his eyes completely glued on you. Suddenly a mischievous smile appeared on Raj's face and he teased. What did you do to him, huh? He looked love-struck. You scoundrel! Just won't leave any chance to pull my leg, would you? And they went about punching each other in a friendly fight. Munching on the vada pav while running down the corridors toward their lecture halls, they barely made it in time. So friends, if you like the story so far, please smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to share. It won't cost you time or money, but will surely help us bring out more valuable content your way. Until next time, keep safe. Namaste.